Naked Doctor and the Man Without a Face. This is a second-hand story told to me about my brother-in-law's uncle. He was a doctor in a small town in South India. I'll call him Dr. Lee. Even hearing it years later, it left me shaken. One night after closing his clinic, Dr. Lee went to bed as usual. The town was quiet, the kind of stillness that settles only after midnight. Sometime later, a knock came at the door. It was loud enough to wake his grandmother. In many Indian homes, there are two doors, an inner wooden door and an outer door with a grill or mesh that allows you to see out while keeping strangers at a distance. That night, she opened the inner door but kept the outer one locked. A man stood outside in the darkness. Speaking in Tamil, he said his wife was pregnant and in urgent need of medical care. His voice was strained but controlled, polite yet desperate. He asked for the doctor by name. The grandmother hesitated. She didn't want to disturb Dr. Lee. She told the man the doctor was resting and asked him to come back in the morning. The man didn't leave. He insisted. He repeated himself. His wife, he said, was critical. Every minute mattered. The knocking and voices carried through the house. Dr. Lee woke and came to the door. After hearing the situation, he agreed to help. He gathered whatever medical equipment he thought might be needed, took his bag and stepped out into the night with the stranger. The streets were poorly lit. Most of the town was dark. As they walked, Dr. Lee noticed he still couldn't clearly see the man beside him, only the outline of clothes moving in the shadows. The stranger continued apologizing for waking him so late, repeatedly emphasizing how dire the situation was. They walked for some time. Then the stranger turned toward a graveyard. Dr. Lee stopped. He questioned him immediately. The man replied calmly, almost casually, that his home was beyond the graveyard and that crossing through it was the shortest path. Though uneasy, Dr. Lee found the explanation plausible. There was no obvious reason to refuse, and someone's life was supposedly at stake. They entered the graveyard. The air felt different there, quieter, heavier. As they walked between the graves, they passed beneath a single lamppost. The light briefly cut through the darkness. Instinctively, Dr. Lee turned to look at the man walking beside him. He tried to focus on his face. There was none. No eyes, no nose, no mouth, no head at all. Just clothing perfectly arranged, moving as if worn by someone who simply wasn't there. For a moment, his mind refused to accept what he was seeing. Then fear hit him all at once. He forced himself not to react. He didn't scream, he didn't run. He knew that any sudden movement might be noticed. Thinking quickly, he told the figure he had forgotten critical medical equipment and needed to return home to retrieve it. The figure objected. It said the equipment wasn't necessary. Dr. Lee insisted. He said the tools were essential. So essential that if the stranger didn't believe him, he would abandon the case altogether. Then deliberately, he placed his medical bag on the ground, and he ran. He ran back the way they had come, not looking behind him, hoping the thing would believe he was simply rushing to get supplies rather than escaping. He didn't stop until he reached home. Inside, he told his grandmother everything. Neither of them slept much that night. By morning, exhaustion finally overcame fear. Dr. Lee went to his clinic as usual, determined to carry on as if nothing had happened. Later that day, the town's mayor, someone in a high-ranking local government position, came to the clinic with his son. During small talk, Dr. Lee mentioned how the town desperately needed better street lighting. He referred to the previous night, explaining how poor visibility had made it difficult to follow a patient after dark. He carefully avoided mentioning what he had truly seen. The mayor listened closely and asked him to explain further. Dr. Lee elaborated, still leaving out the most disturbing detail. In Indian culture, experiences like that can easily be interpreted as madness. The mayor wasn't surprised. Instead, he asked Dr. Lee to visit his office after closing hours. Already unsettled, Dr. Lee closed the clinic early and went. Once there, the mayor asked him to recount the incident again, this time fully and honestly. When Dr. Lee finally told the entire truth, the mayor opened his desk and removed 3 files. At first, Dr. Lee thought they were applications from doctors being recruited to serve the town. He felt a moment of relief, even pride, believing more medical professionals were coming. Then the mayor explained. Those files belonged to 3 doctors. All 3 had gone missing. Each had been approached late at night. Each had been asked to help with an urgent medical emergency. Each had followed someone into the darkness. None were ever seen again. Dr. Lee understood then how close he had come to disappearing himself. He never ignored his instincts after that night. This story was told to me exactly this way, and I was absolutely terrified.